Hello and welcome to the channel. It's I, Chris. I've been asked to share this clip. Well, I say clip, it's just over an hour and a half long. Now, this lady, this all began when she started to expose the mortgage fraud. Now, I don't personally know as to how far she's gone with this or how she's gone about this. This is just a clip that I've come across and have been asked to share. So essentially that's all I'm doing. I'm not even going to be given any analysis to this. I'm just going to let it play in its entirety because it's too long to break down and give my tuppence worth. And so I shall play it for you to judge for yourself. Let me know what you think about the way the police deal with this situation. I want to know how you think the bailiffs or whatever they are deal with the situation. And I'd also like to know what you think about how the occupier, or I can't say that word, what the homeowner, how she acted as well. So yeah, this is a very interesting video, and so let's go straight into it, shall we? Here we go.
Right, what's going on here? Right, you lot are here under the Constitution.
Just wait so we can have a conversation.
I'm here to talk to me.
Michelle.
Hello, who are you?
Michelle.
Hello.
Michelle.
Let me see your paperwork.
Michelle.
Listen.
Come and speak to me.
No.
Come and speak to me.
Listen, stop immediately. I want to see paperwork.
This is a really simple conversation, okay? If you stand over here and have a conversation.
Who are
with
you?
me. I'm a sheriff officer.
From where?
Sterling Park.
Right, let me see your paperwork.
So,
Now.
look,
Let me
have
see
a
it.
conversation. You don't need to get
Show me your paperwork.
I'll happily show you the deed.
You stop
you've
there
already
right
seen.
now. Oi,
Here's instructions to proceed.
let me see it.
You'll stop when I
This
tell you to
case
stop.
was dismissed back in
No, it
January.
wasn't.
Yes,
No,
it
it
was.
wasn't. No, it
For
wasn't.
lack of jurisdiction.
Decree was
I've
granted on the
already
5th of
reported
February.
this 3 times to Police Scotland.
Decree was granted
That
on the
is
5th
not
of
a court
February.
document.
Yes,
Let's
it
see
is.
it. No, it's not.
Don't
Show
grab
me
my
the
folder.
document.
Don't grab
Where's
my
the
folder.
court stamp?
It's electronic authentication, which has already been...
No, mate.
Michelle, this has already been explained to you.
Who are you?
I'm a sheriff officer. I've just told you
From
that.
where?
Sterling Park. Again, I've told you that.
What's your name?
It's Michael Thacker.
Right, let me see your paperwork.
I'm showing you it right now.
This is a no notice. This is no notice. I've had
Correct.
no notification of this.
Because there was an amended order granted which allowed
Where?
us to
By
proceed
who?
with no notice. The
By
court.
who? By sheriff? By what
There
sheriff?
was an interlocutor granted which allows us to turn out with no
Is
notice.
not a lawful
Yes,
decree.
it is. Michelle,
It is
we've
not
had this,
a
you've had this
lawful
conversation
court of
already. And what I would suggest that you do is
there
go and seek
has
some
been
independent
no
legal advice.
evidence of any proof of claim whatsoever. You need to stop immediately. You're on Facebook Live.
I need to take it out anyway.
There's a further order
Where's the
granted.
court stamp?
There's a further order granted on the 22nd of January, which allows us to
I've
proceed with
had
no
no
notice of data
notification.
removal.
No.
That's why you've not had any notification, which I'm explaining to you right now. Okay. It's
Where's
granted
your
by-
authority?
It's granted by Sheriff Miller, and as it states at the bottom
Sheriff
here,
Miller.
this document has been electronically authenticated and requires no wet signature
No, it
per the
doesn't.
2016 Act, which
No, it
grants
does not.
electronic authentication.
It does
and
not.
that's the first decree that was granted for the repossession of the property.
You need to
That's the
stop a
paperwork.
breach of my peace here. I've reported this 3 times to Police Scotland, including evidence of over £609,000 going through a second set of books. Where's the court stamp and seal?
I've just explained
That
to you
is
about
not
electronic
an
authentication,
official
Michelle.
warrant
We're not going around
or
in circles here with this.
document.
I've explained the position.
You need
and
to
that we have
stop
authority
this
to proceed.
immediately.
Michelle, if there was a valid tenancy, which one hasn't been produced to me, then we would cancel down on the basis that there was a valid
A
tenancy in the
valid
property.
what?
Tenancy.
It's my tenant in there.
Yeah,
Private
show me.
agreement.
He told me he wasn't a tenant. Instantly,
He's
it's the one
my tenant.
question. It's the one question he answered for me was, "Are you a tenant?" No, I'm not a tenant. And he refused to provide his tenancy agreement. I told him if he provides me with a
It's a
tenancy,
private
Michelle.
agreement.
I told him if he provides me with the tenancy agreement, that's all I need to see. He refused. I'm proceeding with the eviction here. Okay,
It's a
simple
couple
as.
of hundred witnesses here already.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Look,
Look, this
let
is
me
going
see your
ahead.
paperwork.
I've showed you my paperwork already.
No, you haven't. There's
I've
no
literally
court.
just read it out to
There
you.
is no
I just
court
explained it to you.
stamp
This
or
has-
seal.
Michelle.
He has
Okay.
already explained
The
this to you,
reason
Michelle.
why
This
there's
has been
no
explained to
court
you.
seal
Perfect.
on there.
Cool.
The reason why there's no
Last
court
chance.
seal
Last
is
chance.
because it's
Tenancy-
not a
Tenancy
properly.
agreement, or I'm
Listen.
going in. No, tenancy agreement, we're going in. We're not going right in the circle. We're not playing this game today. I'm going in there unless I see the tenancy agreement. Do you have a copy of the tenancy agreement?
No.
No, cool.
Listen. Listen.
I've got warrants to proceed, okay? So I'm going in.
You touch me, that's assault. Oi! get out of here.
You're touching me right now. She was committing assault right
I've
now, not
already
me.
reported this 3 times to Police Scotland.
Mum, speak to me about it. He has to
No,
go in. It
no.
is- Come on.
No,
Mum.
no,
Michelle, he's got rightful passage into that property.
no,
okay?
he does not.
He
You can't
does.
block, you can't block,
Excuse me.
you can't block him from getting
Excuse
there.
me,
Keep your hands
you
off me,
cannot
that's assault.
force entry. You cannot force entry and get your hands off me. You can't force entry, that's assault. And you need to get your hands off me as well.
I don't want you, obviously. He.
Listen.
Right.
Excuse me.
Michelle, stop. Okay.
Listen.
Okay. He has a right to go into that
No,
property.
he does
okay?
not.
He's shown you
He
the
has no
paperwork.
right
Showed you
at all.
paperwork.
That
Showed
is
you.
not a lawful document.
Showed
It
you
is not
already.
a lawful
It is.
court, okay? I've had 15 hearings and not once has there been proof of claim.
Michelle,
Do
right,
not
Get off me.
get
Get
out.
off me.
Come out
You're the
of
one
the way,
committing
okay?
assault, not me. You're the one putting hands on me.
we don't want this to get out of hand, okay?
It is out of hand already, mate.
You don't agree with it, but it's not out of hand.
Out of hand. It is
Michelle, you don't have to
out of
agree with it.
hand.
You don't have to agree with it.
You need to sit.
But you have
You
to
need
accept
to
that it's
talk
happening,
to
okay?
me about this. Now, I've already reported this issue
We
to
will
Police
speak
Scotland.
and talk to you
Do
about
you
it.
understand the amount of mortgage fraud that's been exposed right now all over the country?
Personally, no. I
No,
actually
but
don't
you
know
need
about
to
that.
be. You need to be aware. Now, I need your number. What's your number?
What number? The shoulder number? That one.
Let me see. I've already reported this to Police Scotland 3 times. I have tons
What exactly
of
did you report to
evidence.
Police Scotland?
16th of November, I had an interview at Police Scotland on this. I reported this 3.5 years ago for mortgage fraud, okay? There's securitization fraud. This has been exposed globally right now. I can show you all the proof and evidence. I've got £609,000 going through a second set of books on my property under a securitization code. This case was dismissed back in January in court. There was no proof of claim. Yes, it was. I've got evidence in the court right now.
No.
I had a private meeting back in June with the court managers to discuss every point I've had on there, okay? They set a deadline to get back to me and they failed on 5 missed deadlines by themselves to get back to me on every single point of address that I've addressed, including police coercion and intimidation, evidence of securitization fraud, banking fraud, illegal conversion, okay, money laundering, extortion, all of it. I've got all the evidence. I've got it all.
Okay.
I've also got evidence that this case was dismissed back in January, which has all been recorded.
When you say it was dismissed?
The case was dismissed
Yeah.
because I brought up the sheriff is not under oath of office. Okay, Sheriff Christine McCrossan, not under oath of office. She refused to provide the jurisdiction of the court. They're operating under a maritime admiralty jurisdiction, which means you've got legal entrapment, you've got legal deceit, you've got fraudulent deceit for that. I've got all the evidence, I've got a lot of knowledge, I've already done 2 interviews on this. This is an unlawful repossession. You're required to have a court seal and a stamp, and the reason why you don't have it on any paperwork is because it is not a properly convened court of law. Okay? This has been exposed all over the country. I'm part of a network of people that are exposing this, and you need to stop action right now.
DQ was never dismissed. DQ was
The
never-
case was
Never
dismissed.
dismissed.
Well, my recording says otherwise.
Well, I suggest you go get some independent legal advice.
You need to stop this immediately. I am
Have
not.
you got paperwork to say that it was dismissed? Or?
I've got all the evidence, yes.
Yeah, you did.
I've also got evidence of police collusion. I've reported it to Police Scotland 3 times and they've done nothing. Now, you lot are under a directive under Operation Tala. You're under a directive under Operation Tala not to investigate any of the COVID measures, or that's been widely exposed. You're also under a directive not to investigate mortgage and banking fraud. Okay, similar directive. That's all been exposed.
By who?
Similar to Operation Tala with the whole COVID thing. Now I know that, and so do a lot of other people.
I'm not actually
and there's
familiar with that.
Yes, well you should be. I can
I
show
joined
you.
it- I
You
joined
need to
long after
stop
COVID,
this
but-
right now so that I can discuss this properly with you.
He just told me
It's Mark.
to the property and that's it.
No, seriously, I can show you evidence of all of this. I've got stacks of it.
Well, if you've got more things to report to the police,
I have.
then I suggest
They've
you do.
refused
But
to
you'd
look at.
obviously
You need to
that.
stop action
And
right
when a
now
statement's taken,
because they have no lawful authority. They have no proof of claim. They've not provided TLT. And Bank of Scotland have not provided any of the evidence to support the rights of enforcement at all in 15 court hearings, because it's been done through an admin process with no proof of claim at all. I've been on this for 4 years.
No interest in what you're saying right now.
Listen to what I'm saying. Well, you should be.
So it's simple as
You're live. You're live recording.
I think he's okay with her.
You're being recorded live.
Yeah, and I've already told you, I've showed you my paperwork, I've
You're
identified
assisting in a
myself,
burglary, you're aiding and abetting, and you're
I've told
breaching
you
my
I need a tenancy
peace.
agreement, and you have both failed to provide a tenancy agreement.
That's a
Simple as.
private agreement. It's nothing to do with you. You have no lawful authority here.
Unless you provide me a tenancy
You have
agreement,
no
this continues.
lawful authority here. You're
I'm sorry.
trespassing. It's an act of terrorism. Terrorism Act.
Oh, sorry.
Terrorism Act.
Didn't hear you there.
Mark, you gonna open that door?
You need to look at the case. I'm just looking at some of the comments here. The police here are complicit in aiding and abetting in the unlawful repossession of my property without lawful jurisdiction, violating my rights in law. You've got no proof and evidence.
So Michelle, this
And this has
gentleman
been
here is
exposed all
asking
over
if you
the
have
country.
the paperwork to prove that there's a tenancy agreement in place.
It's a private agreement between me and my friend here.
But
Yes. A tenancy
what is it
agreement
about?
for what?
What is it
Listen,
about his paperwork that
listen,
you're unhappy with?
listen,
Sorry, are you looking to get back?
listen. There's
Keep your hands off
comments.
me, please.
I'm just bringing.
How about you just stay
Just
back
push it
here?
into me here.
Listen, listen. Who are you? I need a name. Excuse me.
You don't need his name, Michelle.
I do.
You don't need
for
everyone's
evidence.
name.
Yes,
because
I
you
do.
disagree
I
with
do.
us.
No, listen. You're all complicit in an act of terrorism here because you've got no lawful
think this is an
authority
act
to
of
be doing
terrorism.
anything. Yes, it is. Because you're unlawfully assisting
Okay,
in
but he showed me the paperwork.
unlawfully. That paperwork has no court seal and no court stamp. It's not signed off by any sheriff. Now, the reason for that is because it's been given through an unlawfully convened maritime admiralty jurisdiction court, which is legal deceit, legal fraud, illegal conversion. Okay? It is not a properly convened court of law. It is not a court of record. Okay? It needs to be done through a court of record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a violation of lawful
opposed to our
rights
Aberdeen Charter.
under constitutional law.
You're not.
And there's protections under the Bill of Rights, superior statutes.
Okay.
It's all right. I mean,
How
Right.
long's, is it Mark?
Mark.
The tenant. How
Mark.
long's he been in
It's
here?
not your fault.
He's been in here for a few months now.
Understand it's not
Yeah,
your fault.
okay.
Yeah.
You just moved in. Understand
Yeah.
that.
Don't worry about it.
Listen,
But he should have
be a while, yeah.
he should have tenancy
it's a
paperwork.
private agreement between me and him
Right, okay.
to protect my property because of all of this.
Landlord to get that
I'll come
sorted.
and find you later.
Listen.
I'll tell you just- if you
Listen,
haven't,
listen, it's a private agreement between me and him and it's got nothing to do with anyone
Grand,
else.
and you can get him sorted.
Listen, what I'm saying is you need you need to stop right now.
We don't need to
the
stop.
mortgage fraud, who are you?
There is only stop.
Who are you?
I'm here with Michael as his assistant. So I'm
Assistant?
here to do this. Yes.
From where?
From Sterling Park.
And
this
what
has already been put
authority,
through.
what lawful authority do you have to be here?
I have the authority of Michael with this document, which we have already
And
put
where
through.
did you get your
which we've already
authority
put
from?
through.
Where did you
I've already
get your
told you because
authority
I work
from?
at Sterling Park. This has already been put through.
Where did you get your authority
I've just
from?
told you, and I don't need to answer any more of your questions.
Yes, you
We are
do.
No, I don't.
You're
No, I
complicit.
don't.
What's your name?
My name's Nadia.
Nadia what? Give me your surname.
Mark.
The police are assisting in a civil matter. This is a civil matter and you should not be assisting in a civil matter because you're supposed to be here to uphold my rights in law as constitutional constables under oath. Are you under oath as a constitutional constable?
I am under oath as a police constable,
A
yes.
police officer?
Oh, sorry.
A police officer, which is you're in commerce. You're operating in commerce for profit. Now, who has told you that you can be here? Who's instructed you to be here today? Is that Sterling
My
Park?
police sergeant.
Is that Sterling Park?
No.
You need to get back in touch with your officers now. You need to get
We're
back
actually just
in
here
touch.
to keep the peace.
Yes,
This is-
exactly. You're breaching
this
my
is their
peace
matter.
unlawfully. You're breaching my peace
By
unlawfully
standing here.
in a civil matter.
By standing here?
So you're violating my rights in law. I have
disagree.
I have yeah, mate. I have rights under constitutional law, which includes the Bill of Rights, the Act of Settlement. Now you should be under a constitutional oath as a constable to be operating lawfully.
What about his
And
rights
a
to carry out
lawful-
his duties?
He doesn't have any rights to be carrying out his
What, the
duties as a
paperwork that he showed you?
corporation. That
The
is
paperwork
not
that he showed you?
that is not lawful paperwork. Okay. There is no court seal. There's no court seal, and there's no court stamp.
So who
No
do you-
sheriff
who-
is going to
who
sign
do you
off on
think-
that.
Who do you think issued it?
Yeah.
Well, you tell me. Who's created that document? So it'll be Sterling Park themselves, well, or rather TLT, who have also provided no proof and
Who are
evidence
TLT?
of any claim. TLT are the agent for Bank of Scotland, okay? I've had 15 combined hearings and not once has proof of claim ever been addressed, ever, right? They have to provide lawful rights of authority to enforce this action, and they cannot and will not provide it because it's been securitized. When a mortgage has been securitized, it means that they've sold it. Now, I can show you stacks of evidence, including there's hundreds of people all over the country that are aware of this right now. It's been exposed on a massive scale, mortgage fraud. It's also
paperwork that you
tied
don't have with
to
you.
money laundering. It's also tied to money laundering through the likes of child trafficking, and all that's been exposed right now as well, right? So you need to cease any action right now and remove yourselves from my property.
We're going to stay here.
You need
because
to
we
phone-
can't trust that you're not going to escalate things.
It's my
to a
property. You
point
need to
where we
remove
wouldn't have to be
them
here.
right now. You need to remove them right now because they're operating without lawful authority as a corporation in commerce, where they cannot provide proof and evidence of the rights of enforcement.
But like you said, it's
I've
like
got
we're going round in
I've got
circles
no
here.
rights of enforcement. They have no rights of enforcement. They're going on hearsay.
His
The
paperwork
entire
would disagree.
court procedure was done through presumption, which I'd already rebutted.
Your
Okay?
contention seems to be with the entire
know what
court
I'm
system
talking
being
about.
unlawful.
It is.
Okay, so
This
this
has been exposed all over the country. They're operating, we are lawless just now, and they're operating under a maritime admiralty jurisdiction, okay, which is usurping our rights in law. There's no lawful paperwork. The judges are complicit. The sheriff is complicit for failing to assure that she had actual enforcement and proof of enforcement rights. All of that is absent in both of my cases. I have evidence of over £609,000 going through a second set of books on my other house. It's money laundering, it's extortion, it's been paid off 8 times. So you need to remove yourself from here right now and go back to the police station or back to the court and ask them for proof of claim. There isn't any.
We're just here to.
You're
make sure
here
that
to
you're-
protect my rights in law
Yeah,
in a
we're here to
civil
protect these
matter,
people as
but
well.
you're aiding and
You've already
abetting.
obstructed David's from
I'm
getting in.
protecting my property, which I have the right to do under castle doctrine. Do you understand what that is? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand my rights in law?
I'm not standing
You
here
need to get out
arguing
now.
with you. I'm not.
You
At
need
the
to
end
get
of
out
the
of here
day,
right now.
We're here just to keep the peace because at the end of the day, these people are doing their jobs.
No,
Yes,
they're
I
not.
know.
Unlawfully. Unlawfully. Show me your documents.
She has.
We have already showed
There's,
you. I have
where's the
nothing
court
else to show you
stamp?
apart
Where's the
from
court
this.
stamp?
Did my colleague not
Where
tell
is
you
the court
it's all done
stamp?
electronically,
If you
which
want
we
us
have
to-
already
No,
told you,
the
but
re-
it is.
listen,
And if you
listen, I'm
if
gonna
you choose to
explain
think that's not
something
correct,
to-
that's
That
absolutely
is
fine.
not
That is your
correct.
opinion, but this is
That
what
is
we
not
have,
correct.
and this is signed.
I'm going to tell you something here. I'm going to tell you something here right now. The reason why there's no court stamp and seal on that is because it's been issued through a court which is not a lawfully convened court
This has been
of
issued through Avenue
record.
Sheriff Court, which is very
Which
much,
is not a
which is-
lawfully convened court
this is
of
a lawfully
record.
convened court.
No, it's not. Why is that? It's
I'm
not.
not going to stand
It
here
is
and argue with you.
absolutely
If that
not.
wasn't the case, then
They're
we wouldn't be here.
operating
We have
under
job
a
to do, and it's making
maritime
more difficult.
admiralty jurisdiction, which means that they've got no lawful rights of enforcement. They've got no rights. And you lot need to remove yourself from my property right now, because you're now all complicit in a crime.
There is no crime being committed.
There is
no
a crime.
being committed.
You have no right to be here. Now I'm asking you to remove yourself now, and you police are supposed to be here under a constitutional oath not to violate my rights in law, which is exactly what you're doing right now. You will be held complicit, both of you.
Okay.
You need to go back to check with Inverurie and check back with them that I have been in and I've reported all the mortgage fraud 3 times already. The first time 3.5 years ago, and you've done nothing. And just because you stick a civil label on it does not make it lawful. Excuse me, you need to remove yourself from here. That's assault. You've just touched me.
I'm actually just like.
And
you've already committed assault 3 times.
you need to remove yourself from here right now.
That's okay, you can stick the phone
You're
in my face.
violating my rights
It's
in
just
law.
that people are trying to work.
You're supposed to be here to prevent a breach of my peace. Now they're breaching my peace. Now you're going to be held
Actually, it's
complicit
me
in
that called
this.
them. It's actually for you breaching my peace.
You need to be held complicit in this. Is there anyone downstairs just now? I've got people coming here now to tell you all of this. Seriously, I've got friends of mine. They all know about all of this.
Is that a threat, is it?
You're also being
threatening
recorded
us right
live. I'm just telling you where you stand with this.
Sounded like a threat to me.
You're threatening me.
Can
He's
we get
breaching
you to
my
move back
peace.
just a minute?
I'm not moving anywhere.
Well, you are. You are.
Stop. See, you need to cease and desist immediately.
Michelle, they're going through that door. We'd just rather the way was cleared for removal.
You need to cease
Yeah,
and
that's enough.
desist
Thank you very
this
much.
immediately.
Okay.
You're violating our rights in law here. You've got no lawful authority here.
Again, I put it to you, how about their right to carry out their duties?
They don't have a lawful right to
Yeah,
do this
okay.
because
But
of
this is a
violence.
circular argument, isn't it?
No. What I'm saying here is you've got no rights to be doing this. You're complicit. You're supposed to be upholding my rights. I have rights in law. You're supposed to be upholding my rights to protect myself and my property. And right now you're breaching my rights. I'm going to see if my friends are here. They're going to be coming back. Right, this is an act of treason against me. I'm just reading out the comments here. Okay, this is live recorded. I've got 194 witnesses on here now to this action. You need to stop that right now. Excuse me. You're supposed to be, if you're supposed to be under a constitutional oath, they're violating my rights. I have property rights here. Listen, you don't know what you're talking about.
Like, and I understand. It's just that they're trying to do their job.
They're doing their job unlawfully. They've got no lawful authority to be here. I know what I'm talking about. Listen. I've got all the evidence of this. I've got stacks of evidence against this. You're complicit. You need to stop this action right now. Stop it right now. Stop this action immediately. You're breaching the Criminal Courts Act 2015, Article 26. By aiding the bailiffs, they are not allowed to do it. They're breaking the law. Okay? They are breaking the law. They are not allowed to force entry. There is no proof of claim on any claim by TLT or the Bank of Scotland or anyone else. They have no proof of claim. They have no proof of rights of enforcement. There is none. I've been asking for this for 4 years. The mortgage fraud has been exposed all over the world right now, and you're going to be liable for this damage to my property.
Well,
Yeah, the guy fired really
Why are you letting them do this? You need to go and verify everything I'm saying here, and you haven't done that. You're just going along with, you're taking their word over mine. You're now complicit in aiding and abetting in fraud against me and my private property. Right? I'll be straight down to that court and I will be naming and exposing all of this. It's already gone live here. There's now over 200 people witnessing this. Unlawful action.
Mark, stay clear of the door.
Everyone on here, share this everywhere. Get it shared out everywhere to all the groups, everywhere, right now, please. Share it. Criminal Court Act 2015, Article 26. Why have you got your hands inside your jacket? Someone's asking that right now. And do you have your body cam switched on? Do you have your body cam switched on? You need to immediately switch that on right now. Get it on. Excuse me? Body cam now. Can someone phone the police?
If this door can be put in, it's going to be put in, okay?
If you put that door in now, you will be liable for criminal damage against private property with no lawful rights.
Okay? Mark,
The officer's numbers here, A1372.
Mark, move
This
away
guy
from the
here.
please.
If you put that door in, you will be held liable for criminal damage with no rights of enforcement here. You've got no rights to be here.
If a door falls on him, we would not want him to get hurt. The door's going in.
There'll also be a private prosecution against the locksmith and anyone else here because they've got no lawful rights. To look up the Criminal Courts Act, that is a first entry, that is first entry into private property where you've got no rights, you've got no proper court document, you've got no proper court seal, and you need to get out of here right now. You've got no rights to be here. You've now got 259 witnesses to this. It's live on Facebook, and you will be held criminally liable for damages to private property. You've got no court documents, you've got no official court documents, and this has been done through a court which is not a properly convened court of record. They will also be held complicit. They've also failed to get back to me on 15. There has been 15 hearings on this with absolutely zero proof of claim of any evidence at all.
It's going to happen, okay? But we're just here to make sure that the peace is kept, alright?
You need to get out of my property right now. You've got no right to be here. You've entirely ignored everything I've says here, and you need to get out.
No, not now. Yeah, time.
Mark, Mark.
You're right now.
No, he's not going anywhere.
He's going out.
No, he's not. This is my property, and you need to get out.
No.
This is violating our rights in law. This is violating our rights in law, right? You're all
Mark, what is it you would
complicit.
like to put on?
You need to get out of here.
Can we reach a compromise? If it's going to take 2 minutes,
Alright, 2 minutes.
would you be okay with that?
2 minutes is fine.
2 minutes?
Change your clothes. That's
You
Mark,
you
let's-
are
let's-
supposed to be
We're trying
here
to talk to
to
Mark 2
protect
seconds.
the peace.
Just
You are not
it.
protecting the
Calm it.
peace.
Mark,
You're right.
Calm it.
You're not
Let us-
protecting the
really
peace
2
here.
minutes.
Sorry, Mark. You're not protecting the peace here. You need to get out. Both of you.
We're trying to
You
reach a
will be held
compromise.
complicit. You're going to be held entirely complicit for this.
Okay.
Your job as a constitutional constable under oath
Our job
is
here
to
was to keep the
protect
peace
the
between
law.
everyone that was involved.
It's to support my rights in law. Okay.
What about their rights to execute
They
their
don't
duties?
have any rights. They don't have any lawful
Again.
authority to be here.
Circular argument, Michelle.
No, you don't have any
You don't
rights
need
to
to
be
be
here.
here. Out.
You
Now.
don't have no.
You're leaving.
This is my property.
Not anymore. It's not.
This is.
I'm now.
you
In,
need
I've
to
asked you my
up-
warrant. I'm in
you
the property.
need to
It's
protect
repossessed.
my.
This is no longer your property.
This
Simple as.
is my property.
No, it's not. Not anymore. It's
The
not.
banks have zero
not.
proof of claim in 4
Michelle,
years.
Leave the property.
No,
Leave the property.
no. You need to.
You need to leave the property, Michelle.
No, you need to.
If you don't leave, you will be removed from the property.
By who?
Me.
By you.
Yeah.
Where
I
are you
will
getting
remove
that
the
right?
property.
Where are you getting the right to
Come on.
remove
Aye.
me?
Come on.
No, it's assault. Excuse me, this is assault. You, what are you doing standing there doing nothing?
You need to
Michelle,
leave the property.
we'll go
Excuse
stand
me?
outside, shall we? Michelle, we'll go stand
No, no,
outside.
no.
Now, come on.
You're going to phone your sergeant right now and get him down here.
No, I'm not.
No, I have evidence
He already
of
tasked me
money
to come down
laundering,
here. Okay.
money laundering, illegal
Call 101.
conversion.
Call 101.
I'm not
Report
doing-
it.
No.
Oh,
I've
no,
already
no.
reported this
Okay.
3 times to
All right.
Police
and
Scotland. Go and
what
check.
happened with it?
Look, I
happened
have
with it?
evidence of over £609,000 going through a second set of books on my mortgage.
Okay, what happened with that case?
They
you
dropped it
reported?
for civil matter. You
They dropped
cannot
it?
label
Okay.
something as civil when there's criminal elements all over it. Now, I've already been to the Procurator Fiscal 3 or 4 times on this.
And what did they say?
to label it a civil matter because it
Okay.
means that I don't have
Right.
to look at it.
The-
I can call
moment the
myself
PF
a fucking cat, right?
The moment
It
the
doesn't mean
PF
I'm a
decides
cat.
it's a civil matter,
Oh, I'll be taking this a lot further. I'm still waiting for
Our hands are
Aberdeen
tied at
Sheriff
that point.
Court
Okay.
to get back to me on 5 missed deadlines where I've raised all of this with him.
All right.
There is a huge amount of evidence exposed right now, just the same as all the grooming gangs, all the rest of it. It's
Yeah.
all out there, okay? There's a 682-page document out of the US right now exposing the entire mortgage fraud. Now, you are complicit. You have failed to do your rights as a constitutional constable to protect my rights in law. You violated your constitutional oath.
Okay.
Yes, you have. Oh, okay. Okay, is that all you've got to say? And you are here operating for TLT.
I don't work for
You've
TLT.
been who's
I do not work
instructed?
for TLT.
Who's instructed you
We've
to
been
be here?
We have been instructed by TLT.
Yes,
to do
and they
so.
have no
I
lawful
don't work for them,
authority.
they do.
They have no lawful authority to be instructing anything at all. Stop barring my way.
Well,
This is
stop
my
trying
this is
to barge
criminal
past me into a
damage to
property
the
you're not
door.
supposed to be in.
It's my property.
No,
This is my private property, and you can't be pushing him out of here either. He
Well,
has
apparently
rights.
They can physically
He
remove
has
him using
rights.
reasonable force.
He has rights in law. Protected by it's protected by the Bill of Rights.
Yeah. Well, their
Superior
paperwork.
statute. Okay? Now you lot are all operating in commerce as commercial. You're operating under a DUNS number in commerce, right? Which means you're operating in profit. Now, have they instructed him? Who's instructed you to be here? Who has instructed you to be here?
My police sergeant.
And where is he getting the authority
Not necessarily
to
for a
instruct
policing
you to be
matter,
here?
just to make sure that the peace was kept.
Well, you're breaching my peace. You're breaching.
But they have a right to go through the store and
No,
evict
they do
him.
not.
Okay,
No,
because
they
you
don't.
disagree with the body
Listen,
that issued
listen,
the
mate,
paperwork. to them.
listen. This stuff has been exposed all over the country. I don't
Okay.
think you quite get the gravity of that.
As in a conspiracy theory?
Conspiracy theory, really, it's been exposed all
Yeah.
over the world. I don't think you quite
How
grasp that.
How does that specifically apply
Mortgage
to
and
one
banking-
person being evicted
mortgage
for not being
and
lawfully allowed
banking
to be on
fraud.
property?
I
mean,
he's
I'm
got my
vaguely aware of
permission to be
mortgage and
here.
banking fraud, but not on a global scale.
The address,
I couldn't
the
possibly know
address,
about that.
Margaret, is 80 Langstract, Aberdeen, AB16 6TU. If people can get onto the police and report this and share this widely as much as you can, okay? We've now got over 309 witnesses on here,
Okay.
live witnesses, okay?
Live
now I'm going to be
witnesses,
coming
okay.
down on you lot like a ton of bricks
Yeah.
because honestly, I've got all the evidence of this fraud.
It's your right to report
You've
anything
got,
that you believe
you've
to be a
got
crime.
uttering, that's uttering, okay, that's a false instrument. It is not a court document. It cannot be a court document because it's not a properly convened court of law. There is not a court of record, okay? I've been in there 15 times and not once has proof of claim ever been addressed. Okay?
But
You're not
yeah.
trained in law. You're trained in legal. Legal is not law. It's actually the undoing of law. Okay? You've got the legal system, which operates under a maritime admiralty jurisdiction. Then you've got law, which operates under the Bill of Rights, natural law. Okay? You're violating my rights as a living woman in law. I am not a corporate fiction. Okay? That's legal fraud. You've got a legal conversion.
That's a lot longer than 2
You've got
minutes.
no right to be here.
Yeah.
Mark.
He's dragging his feet. He's wasting time until other people get here.
Uttering is uttering of a false instrument. Okay, it's under similar to sections 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 and 13 of the Fraud Act 2006, which is uttering in Scotland. That document does not carry a court seal. The reason for that being that it's not a properly convened court of law. It's not a court of record. Legal is not lawful. We deal in law, not legal. Okay? It is not
That's a
an
question of
official...
semantics,
No, it's actual law, and you need to be aware of that.
Okay.
Now, you've got over 300 witnesses on here. There's no wet ink signature.
Right, Mark, let's go.
He's not...
Well,
I've had 15 court hearings and not once has proof of claim ever been addressed. There is not one scrap of evidence to support the bank's claim
All right.
against me.
Michelle, you're blocking my way out this door now. All right, let's go. Come on. Move. Move, Michelle.
I'm being forcibly removed. I'm being forcibly removed from my private property, and the police have aided and abetted in this, just like they have in hundreds of cases all over the country. Okay, you're operating in the legal system, but just not law.
Let's just to help you with that then, that claim. On you go.
Sorry, are you looking to get through there?
Yeah, the stuff you need to do.
So is this getting boarded up?
Yes.
Yeah.
That documents have been produced through... You two police officers are complicit. You two police officers are complicit in breaching my peace. You've violated your constitutional oath of office. You're not here. You are here to protect the peace. You are not here to aid in a civil matter by removing us from my private property on a document that is evidence of uttering. It carries no court seal and no court stamp. So you violated you can be held criminally liable for aiding and abetting in a civil matter. You are not allowed to aid and abet in a civil matter. You're here to uphold my rights in law, okay? There is no proof of claim of any enforcement by the bank. In 4 years, I've been asking for that, okay? The court have failed to get back to me after a private meeting back in June with the court managers being Isla Morgan and Miss Brock, right? Now, they have failed to get back to me on 5 missed deadlines set by them on all of the issues I've raised through a court of no jurisdiction. Okay? The court does not have jurisdiction while it's operating in a maritime admiralty capacity. It would never use a solicitor because a solicitor is an officer of the court that would then deem me with no lawful rights in commerce. I am not a commercial entity. That would be legal entrapment.
but a civil case, they're there to act on your best interest.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Educate yourself on this. It's legal entrapment. It's legal conversion. Okay? This has all been exposed all around the world. I've got all the evidence of that. You've also got nearly 300 witnesses on here.
Where is it? Where's your evidence?
I've got all the evidence already. Not right here on me, obviously, because you've turned up unannounced. Now that again is unlawful.
Mark phone check.
Us showing
He
up.
said he did.
You've turned up here they've turned up here unannounced. I had no notice of them coming here today. That is also unlawful.
front of the door. They come through that door.
Show up to a lot of
It's
properties
damage to
unannounced.
private property.
But you showed
And
up.
take your hands out of your vest. What are you standing like that for?
Cold.
You're
I'm
cold.
not like that.
You're cold.
You
Have you got
tried
your
to
body
hide
cam?
this.
Have you got your body cam switched on?
It is on, yeah.
Well, good. So this has all been evidence. It's all gone out there.
But we've got it on evidence
Sheriff
as well.
Christine McCrossan of Aberdeen Sheriff Court dismissed this case back in January when I challenged her on the oath of office. She refused. She has to be under constitution. She has to be under constitutional oath, right?
Okay.
I then challenged her operating under a Duns number in commerce, right? That would be illegal conversion. It's legal entrapment. It's fraud.
Do you think you're operating at some higher level than a sheriff?
A sheriff with no constitutional oath of office, operating under a maritime jurisdiction without full disclosure in a court that's not a properly convened court of record, yeah. Yeah. The mortgage fraud has been exposed around the world. It's been called the greatest financial crime in human history. I need to see a bench warrant. What was that, Ali?
I didn't catch that, sorry. Once more?
You're actually, you're,
protecting the general public from known viruses never isolate. COVID, Operation Tala, we got to stand in.
yeah.
I was there that day with the Norway to Tala Island. Yeah, and the focus had their legs chopped off, that, or the heart attacks, myocarditis and that, yeah.
You had their legs chopped off? Is this as a
Well,
result?
loads of them. You go online and for some research it, you'll find it. The mRNA gene therapy, bioweapons, that's it. Graphene oxide in it.
Seriously, I'm being serious here. You lot are in a lot of trouble here. This has been exposed. It's just a matter of time before this is all going to be made public. Just like the whole Birmingham scandal, everything has been made public. It's all coming down. And you're complicit. You are now complicit in aiding and abetting in a civil matter. You should be protecting my peace. Now they've just caused criminal damage to my private property, and like I said, 4 years the banks cannot provide a single scrap proof of claim or authority to enforce. Okay, the mortgages are all securitized. The sheriff has also stated in my judgment that should my argument succeed, all mortgages and loans around the globe would be set aside. It's a political matter, which is why everyone's labelling it as civil, right?
Sure.
Civil matter. You are here to protect my rights in law, not to aid and abet in people who are operating in a commercial capacity with no lawful authority. TLT have no proof of claim. 4 years I've been asking for it. And so is everyone else. There's hundreds of people all over the country on this. And you're here, you've willfully allowed them to do that, breaching my peace, damaging my private property and violating Mark's rights in law here as well as mine. You're complicit. But you need to go back. I know what I'm talking about. And so does everyone else on here. Look, you've just witnessed. This is a crime scene. You need to arrest these people. You need to do your job right now and arrest those two for breaking and entering into a private property. This is an act of treason. It's an act of terrorism. Right? Arrest them now. Do your job.
No.
Do your job. Arrest them now. Get your sergeant down here right now. Get him in here.
Think we'll be doing that.
Get him here
There's no
now.
need for that.
Get him here now.
No.
Get him here now.
Want to phone everybody, monsieur?
Phone police, yeah. You need to phone police, emergency 999. I've got people impersonating constables.
I don't want to do that.
I've got 2 people dressed up impersonating constables that are violating my rights. It is an emergency. It is an emergency. Tell them I've got 2 officers here that are impersonating police constables that are supposed to be under a constitutional oath to protect the people under private property. And yet, you've just aided and abetted in a civil matter, which you're not allowed to do. Hello. Hello, I require the police here immediately. I've got strange people here breaking and entering into a property with no lawful rights, with uttering of a false instrument, and they've just broken and damaged my private property. They've got no lawful rights to be here. And I need police assistant here immediately. 80 Landstracht, Aberdeen, AB16, 6TU. I need the police here immediately. Immediately.
What's your name, please?
Michelle, it's Michelle Ross. It's going on right now. They're attempting to leave. I've got it all recorded and I've got 300 witnesses to this.
Michelle, just speak to me, please. Okay, so sorry, who's trying to break into the property?
I've got two police
Michelle,
officers.
answer my questions.
It's
There's police officers.
Yeah.
two police officers here that are violating my rights in law. It's a civil matter.
Right.
They've aided and
Michelle,
abetted and stood
Michelle,
by. I need the police
Michelle.
here immediately.
No.
The police can't come and arrest police officers.
They're violating rights. They're not upholding their rights as constables in law.
Okay.
They're
Michelle,
operating as police.
Michelle.
I've now got more people coming here. You need to stop this right now. Who are you? I've got Clearway here now, people. Share this out there.
Just hang up.
And the police are still here. I need the police here immediately.
Michelle, hang up the phone. The police are there, so speak to them.
I'm speaking to them. I need arrests being made here right now. They're not listening. They're aiding and abetting in an unlawful action against me. And the police have just told the police when I've reported it to 999 to hang up. They're not here operating as constitutional constables to protect my rights in law and also to protect my private property. They are aiding and abetting in an unlawful action where there's proof of uttering in documents with no proper court seal, stamp or not signed by a sheriff. There is no proof of claim in 4 years. There is no proof of claim in 4 years, and there's no rights of enforcement produced by the bank in any of this. Okay, this mortgage fraud has been exposed all over the world. It's coming down, and they're under a directive not to investigate mortgage fraud because they're labelling it as a civil matter, even though there's criminal elements all over it. We all know this. Please share this far and wide. They're aiding and abetting in a criminal matter. Sheriff Christine McDawson of Aberdeen Sheriff Court dismissed this case back in January. They all lied about it. The court managers are complicit. They're under a similar directive as Operation Tala not to investigate any of the COVID crimes that's now widely been evidenced. And they're also under a similar directive not to investigate mortgage and banking fraud. We all know this, and it's all been evidenced. These two police officers are complicit in allowing these people to break into my private property unlawfully. Share this around, get it out there. We've just called the police on 999. They've refused to intervene. They've refused to intervene on this. You're protected by Freemasons. You have to disclose if you are Freemasons. I've called 999. The police are refusing to come. And we have these two people here that have been instructed by TLT with no lawful authority. TLT have failed to provide any proof of claim in over 4 years. They have failed to provide proof of claim in over 4 years. They failed to provide any rights of lawful enforcement. Okay, there's bifurcation here where the mortgage has been securitized, which means that they've got no legal standing whatsoever. All ignored by the court, all based on presumption, which I've already rebutted. I have all the evidence of all of the mortgage fraud through the court system, 15 hearings, and not once has it been properly addressed. We also have Sheriff Principal Pyle, who conducted an appeal hearing over the phone, which is a denial of due process. And when I brought up the issue of there being no rights of proof of claim. He slammed the phone down on me, and that's entirely unlawful. It's a denial of due process. Okay? Now, this is all evidenced here. It's going to be shared far and wide, and it's going to be shared with higher authorities. Right now, we have a huge amount of evidence of everything that's been exposed right now, and it's just a matter of time, which is very close to the entire mortgage scam being exposed publicly. And you are all held complicit. We have two guys from Clearway here. You need to give me your names.
They don't have to give me names.
I want name. Yes,
No,
they
name
don't.
me.
What do you
No, name me,
mean?
just mine.
They have to. They're failing to identify. They're refusing to identify.
I identify myself, and I'm the one who needs it.
Where do you get your lawful authority to be doing any of this?
Michelle, we've already had this discussion.
Where is your lawful authority to be here?
We've had this discussion already.
This guy needs to be identified.
We've done what we should.
What's your name? What's your name?
I've already told you twice.
What's
Michelle.
your name?
I've told you twice. We're not going
Tell
around
me
this
again.
circle
What's your name?
No, I don't.
Tell me. You're refusing to identify people. Keep sharing.
I've already identified myself twice earlier.
Do it again.
So
I want your name again.
Rather than you telling lies for everyone. Okay.
These two guys need to be identified from Clearway. They've got no lawful authority to be here. Now, evidence all over the country on similar cases. We have an unlawful repossession here, criminal damage to private property, all of it.
It's not your property.
It's my property.
No, anymore, it's not.
It's my property.
I've repossessed it. It's not your
Yes,
property.
you are entirely complicit.
You can say
And
what
I
you
will
want.
be bringing a
I'm the
criminal
sheriff officer, and
claim.
I'm
Listen,
the
mate,
guy that
listen, mate, you're in big
You're
trouble
correct.
here, and so are
I have
you.
a court warrant to repossess property.
A court warrant should have a court warrant requires a seal. The reason why, no, mate, listen. The reason why it doesn't carry a court seal is because it's not a properly convened court of record. It's not a court of record. Neither of my case numbers are on Trust Online, right? Neither of them are on Trust Online. It's been done through a rubber stamping process, all based on presumption with no proof of claim, right? Do you understand that as a police officer? No proof of claim, no proof of rights of enforcement at all, not one single scrap in 4 years. Does that not ring a bell with you? Because it should. That's unlawful.
Yeah,
It's fraud, uttering, illegal conversion, money laundering, tax evasion, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I
talking
know
about
what
the
I'm
cases
talking
that you
I'm
had outstanding?
talking about hundreds of cases all over the country.
Okay.
None of them have any proof of claim. None of them.
All right.
Why do you think that is?
Well, you said that
Why do you think that is?
people like the sheriff, the PF, they have no lawful authority to carry out.
No,
their,
they don't,
Yeah.
because they're operating in a maritime admiralty jurisdiction,
Right.
which is not a properly convened court of law. There's no proof of claim. It's not on record. It's all done rubber stamp in private, all based on presumption. Presumption.
I mean, bold claim. But
You're all complicit in a fraud here. You will be complicit. Now, you've just been made public. You're all on camera, right?
You point that camera face all you want, it's not changing what's happened here.
Well, eventually, it will come down. you can laugh and smirk all you want.
I'm not the one laughing right now.
Excuse me, what are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
Sorry, did you hear me?
What are you laughing at?
I'm not
Do you think
laughing.
this is funny? You just smirked.
I can smirk
You've got
if I want to,
300
but there's no
witnesses in
laughing
here
going on.
that have just
That's absolutely
witnessed you
fine.
smirking.
That's
It's actually your pals.
What's
but I
funny?
can't laugh, not anyone.
What are you finding funny?
Laughing.
We're not laughing. And what are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because he lied. He was
Yeah,
laughing.
Listen, what are you laughing at?
But I mean, if you'd like to accuse me of it, that's absolutely
Don't
fine.
even
It's
look
just
at
not
him.
true.
Oh, it will be.
Great, that is brilliant. If that makes you feel better, that's fine.
Where's your authority from TLT?
I don't have authority from
I'm the
TLC.
sheriff.
Oh, you
She
don't?
does.
And where are you getting your authority from?
I would show you the decree that's specific.
No, you haven't. A decree? Where is it? You haven't. There's no court stamp. There is no court stamp. There's no court seal on there, and the reason for that is because it's not a properly convened court of record. It is not a properly convened court of record. Okay?
Okay.
how long do you guys plan on staying here in this communal stairwell? Because you're not going back in there. So what's your intention?
It's my private property.
It's not your property.
I mean,
You violated
that's
his
totally the
rights.
issue.
You violated my rights. You have aided and abetted in the theft of my private property unlawfully. And so have you. And so have you. And I've got claims against a lot of you. There's going to be a claim against TLT. Now, listen. I have asked for them. The only thing I've asked for is prove your claim. Now that is under Truth in Lending. It's under the Financial Conduct Authority. They have to provide proof of claim. Okay? That's all I'm asking for. They have failed to provide it in 4 years.
And that's what's happened. You had your chance in court to make your argument, and the sheriff found against you. It's that simple.
They have no evidence of proof of claim at all in 4 years. Do you not find that a bit strange? You're not trained in law, you're trained in arts. What are you smirking at? What are you smirking at here? What are you smirking at? What are you smirking at? Come on. You tell me under what lawful authority you're here. Come on. Oi. Tell me what lawful authority you have here to be doing this and aiding and abetting.
That showed no manners whatsoever. Of course, she's not going to answer your questions.
No, she should, because you're supposed to be under a constitutional oath. To uphold the people, you're supposed to be here to uphold the people's rights in law and also to protect private property. Now, you've just stood by and allowed them to break and enter and throw my friend Mark out of my private property when we've got a private agreement.
Actually, what's happened is you two were obstructing me from my duty as an officer of court. That's all that's happened here. Is you two causing obstruction. No, we're not. You've just caused criminal damage. Caused no damage.
You've aided and abetted in criminal damage. You've stood by and violated your constitutional oath, allowing my rights to be violated in law. Right? You've just gone along with what these people have said. They have got no lawful authority to be here. They've got no lawful document. That is uttering. Uttering. Do you understand what uttering is?
Like we've explained all this, like you're going round and round in circles.
Yeah, you're not listening.
I am listening.
You need to arrest them right now. You need to arrest these people. Listen.
No, you listen to me.
No, you listen to me. You need to arrest these people right now.
It's a very, very rude way to speak to a police officer. Very rude.
A police officer, not a police constable. What are you? Let me see your warrant card. Show me your warrant card right now. Show it to me. Right, let me see. Show me it. No, show me it. No, show me it. Hold it till I'm happy with what I've seen.
There we go.
Back off.
No, because at the end of the day, no. I'll show you.
Are you a police constable?
I'll show you. You've requested it. I will show you. There we go.
Yeah, so right on there it says you're a constable, right? So you're under a constable
You have requested it. I will show you. Not
yes,
your followers.
It states there that you're a constable, right?
At the end of the day, you
it
have
says
requested
there
it. I have
you
showed
are a
it,
constable. You are a constable.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
According to your warrant card.
Because all you're doing is reading off what your followers are saying to you.
Excuse me, you try to say I don't know what I'm talking about here. That warrant card is as a constable. So you're under a constitutional oath to uphold my rights in law. Your job as a constable, let me see your warrant card. And you're going to hold it long enough for it to be checked out here.
Oh, of course.
I want it on camera.
There you go.
No, you're covering it up. Let me see it.
Oh, that.
Hold it up.
Don't tell me what to do, okay?
Hold it up so we can all see it. Hold it up so we can see it.
We'll lift you if you don't leave.
Hold it up so you can see it. I'm asking you.
Yeah. You don't think this is threatening your abusive behaviour at the very least?
No.
No?
I'm upholding.
Okay.
No, I'm protecting my rights in law, and I know my rights. Right. You're here to protect my rights in law and to protect my private property. Now, the fact that you've allowed this to happen, you're supposed to be under a constitutional oath.
If you feel like you have been wrongly treated,
yeah, I do.
And you think there's a crime here,
I do. There is a crime here. This is a crime scene.
You already tried to report it.
This is a crime scene.
How did that go?
Just because you label something as a civil matter does not make it civil when there's criminal elements all over it. Now, you're actually here aiding and abetting in a crime against me. You're violating your right. You're violating your oath as a constitutional constable.
We can't stay here all day.
You're a policy officer in
goes
commerce.
round and round and round.
Police Scotland are operating under a DUNS
It's like someone's
number
pulled a
in
string.
commerce, okay? You're violating my rights in law. And you
How long
have
is
got no
your-
lawful
is it
authority
clear
to
right
be
now?
here,
Are you looking
and
at
neither
this
do
through
you.
securing the door?
Just measure out the window and that's the
Yeah. Is it the same sort of barricades that are going on, or is it shutters, you said?
Shutters, yeah. No,
Okay.
shutters, yeah.
Is that going on the outside door? Or both?
Everywhere.
Okay. How long do you think that's going to take?
Quite a while. I'll be staying here anyway. So,
Yeah. I mean, we've got a job to go to anyway, but
yeah. I do it because there's these two. As soon as you leave, obviously, that crime being committed by these two, when you guys.
yeah, by all means, if anything does happen, and I'm speaking to the room here, Mark. See, if we stand down from here and you cause any problems, then we'll just have to come straight back, okay? Or another unit. These people don't want to have to deal with you being threatening or calling them names when they're just trying to execute their duties, okay? Do you understand, Michelle?
We'll sort this out. You're all done for.
Michelle, by all
Seriously.
means, if you feel like you've been unfairly treated
Yeah, I
and a
have.
crime has been committed, then report it.
There is a crime.
Please do. I would encourage anyone to do the same.
You're complicit
Do you
in this.
understand?
You need to immediately address these people. You need to arrest them.
For doing their job.
They're not
Just like
doing.
we're
They're
trying to
doing
do.
their job
All we did was
unlawfully.
came here to try
You
and
have
keep the peace.
stood by.
I think you two are the
You
ones
have
making that very
stood
difficult
by,
right now.
and you've stood by
Two grown
and
adults
allowed.
unable to just walk out the door.
You two have stood by, violated your constitutional oath as a constable to protect the rights of the people in law. Right?
Or they're right.
They need to be arrested.
No, they don't.
They don't have.
No, they absolutely don't.
They've got evidence of uttering with a document there now. This
We
is
do actually
this
have
is going all
we
over
actually do have
social
something
media.
to do. We've got tasking.
You do need to arrest them. You're under a constitutional
We
oath.
cannot stay here all day. okay?
You're under a constitutional
So
oath
remember,
to arrest
Michelle,
these people.
Mark, if you do plan on standing there the entire day,
She said it to me. He said it. It was a sergeant.
You don't even know the law. You two need to arrest now. You two are complicit, okay? You have no authority from TLT because they don't have authority. The bank doesn't have authority. The mortgage is securitized, which means the bank doesn't have legal standing, okay? Excuse me.
if there is
Oh, you're putting on. Listen, the bank has no legal standing, right?
I'm okay to call it. That's not going to get me in trouble.
no, absolutely not.
Perfect.
No.
It's a general emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
We will take his property back, and you two are just leaving now. You've absolutely violated. You've totally acted unlawfully here. You will be held complicit. Do you need to get in? Right, you two, you're all over Facebook, okay? No, it's not okay. It's not okay. You'll be criminally prosecuted for
Go
this.
right ahead. You try your best.
I will. The amount of evidence of all of this all over the country, and you as well, you're complicit. You've got no authority through TLT. TLT has no authority. Bank of Scotland has no authority. The court has no authority.
That's right. You have to keep it quiet so I can get
The court has no authority. They're operating in commerce. Okay, that's legal entrapment to save
Like I
consent.
said, Michelle, go get yourself some
They
legal advice, so I
they
totally
don't
qualified
have
solicitor.
any. I would never use a solicitor. The solicitors are officers of the court. Now, what you need to understand is it's legal fiction fraud. Okay, all of this has been exposed all over the place. Do you even know what I'm talking about?
I don't think anyone knows what you're talking about.
No, you don't know. The problem you have, and it's your problem, it's not mine. You don't know what you're talking about. I do.
If you say so.
You've got legal fiction fraud, okay? This has all been exposed right now, all over the place.
If you're making any sense of it, I might understand.
It's legal fiction fraud, okay? It's birth certificate fraud. You're operating in commerce. You're operating unlawfully. You're breaking the law, both of you.
Get the police to arrest me then.
You're breaking the law. Listen, this is a huge claim for me. I will already have a claim against the court staff. I've already got a claim. This case was dismissed back in January. It was so. It was so. I've got all the evidence. I have all the evidence of this already. The court have failed to get back to me in 5 missed deadlines set by them on all of the complicity that I've got against them. Sheriff Christine McCrossan knows what she's done. That's why they can't get back to me.
If you say so.
I've got evidence of police coercion, right? They've got no jurisdiction whatsoever. Now they're not operating as a properly convened court of law, which means they're operating in commerce. I am not a commercial entity. No. Yeah, that's what I am saying. It means you're complicit in fraud. It's an act of terrorism here. You violated all sorts of laws. I've already put in a 5-page document with all the violations against the court. They cannot get back to me on that, because if they admit that they've done that, they're admitting to fraud. If they deny it, I've already got the evidence that says otherwise.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's good for me. It's bad for you, it's good for me.
I know.
And they will be held complicit. And the amount of evidence of this coming out now, it's just a matter of time before it hits mainstream. And you're now publicly complicit in aiding and abetting in the theft of my private property. The courts cannot provide any proof of claim because there isn't any. The banks can't provide it. TLT, Philippa Beveridge of TLT was in court when the case was dismissed and the judge walked out. And Christine McCrossan walked out because I challenged her on not being under a oath of office. Okay? I also challenged her as acting under maritime jurisdiction, which means they're not operating as a lawful court. They're masquerading as a court of law. And you, coming in here right now, you are also complicit. You from Clearway, right, you. Anyone identify these 2 guys from Clearway because they're here unlawfully? I need a name and an identity now. Who's instructed you to be here? Who's instructed you to be here? I need an identity on these people. Anyone?
They're here on my authority.
They're here on your authority, so you've instructed them to be here.
I'm the sheriff officer. I'm the one instructed.
I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You're here unlawfully.
Maybe they are.
You are here unlawfully with no lawful authority. You're breaking the law, both of you. You are breaking the law. That is a criminal. You've created a criminal offence here. Breaking the law. Do you understand me? Look at me when I'm talking to you. You. Oi. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
I don't need to speak to
you are breaking the law.
I'm not breaking the law.
You're going to be...
Yes,
you are. You are.
Can I just ask a question?
You're
What
breaking
exactly
the
do you
law.
intend on doing for the rest of today?
You're breaking the law
I'm not
here.
breaking the law.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
What makes you think you're not?
Okay.
You've just broken into a private property
broken
unlawfully
anything.
and with no lawful authority whatsoever, based entirely on hearsay and presumption. I have zero proof of claim from the bank or TLT of the rights of enforcement. Do you understand what that means? Look at me when I'm talking to you.
I don't need to look at you. I nothing at all.
You're operating unlawfully and you don't even know
What needs to be
it.
said has been said, Michelle.
You're
Let's
operating
stand
unlawfully and you don't even know it because you're that thick.
Okay.
That document
If
is
you
not...
went and read
that
on the
is
law,
not...
you would be the one that's spouting this right now.
Sorry?
I am not the thick one in this situation, say that for free. So unless you have anything else that you haven't already said to say, there's no point in you being here. What needs to be said has been said, and that is it. You are going round in circles,
You're
Michelle.
both operating unlawfully.
Sorry.
And you will be reported. And you, who are you? You've got a whole load of witnesses here, mate. It's all over. This is going to go viral. It's all over the place. I'm in touch with a lot of people in other countries as well. All of this stuff is being exposed. I'll tell you what as well, the Department of Justice out of the US has just declared all of these lower level courts unconstitutional and they need to be immediately abolished.
You asked to say the US.
There's a huge amount of evidence on mortgage fraud. It's massive. It's absolutely massive. And you are complicit. I'm not quoting US law. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. I don't think you quite understand how much of this is being exposed publicly now. There's hundreds of cases all over the country, exactly the same issues, right? TLT are under investigation right now. Philippa Beveridge of TLT was in court when the judge walked out for lack of jurisdiction. No jurisdiction, no case, right? Do you understand that?
I don't think you understand what jurisdiction
I know what I'm talking about, yeah. They're operating in a legal jurisdiction which is not law. They're operating as a maritime admiralty jurisdiction which has no rights in law. If they've got no jurisdiction, there's no case. I challenged that and that's why she dismissed it and walked out. And then she then came back and I was escorted out by police as aiding and abetting. She came back in ex parte, carried on, and Philippa Beveridge of TLT denied that it was dismissed. Right? I also have evidence of the court managers denying that it was dismissed. That is a denial of due process. It's a very, very serious matter. These cases are also being tried under the US under RICO, which is Racketeer Influence Criminal Organisations. It comes with a 20-year prison sentence. Those police officers have now, they can now be locked up for 14 years for aiding and abetting in a civil matter. Do you know that?
You go get them locked up then. You do that.
Well, all of this is evidenced. There's a huge amount of evidence for all of this. You violated Mark's rights.
Yes.
You violated his rights. You violated my rights. And who's this? Who are you? Who are you? Identify yourself? Yes, he does. Who is he? He's a locksmith. Right, people, I need this guy identified. I'll get him when he comes out again. I need him identified. Anyone know who he is? Mark, you okay? Right, we'll get his back. We've got all the evidence of all of this. Fraud all over it. I'm going to be straight back to that place. I've already reported this 3 or 4 times to the Procurator Fiscal. Right, they're also operating under a DUNS number in commerce as a commercial entity. We will take his property back. We will take it back. We will take it back. We will.
What's that the process then?
We know that you're in the wrong.
I mean, you could be way starting all your process and your claims and your thinking about set your standard and your video being set. If you really switch your like go into
This is under the Criminal Procedure Act, Section 293(1) and 2. Police we've just got evidence of the police that are supposed to be under a constitutional oath, aiding and abetting in a civil matter, standing by, allowing criminal damage on an uttering on a fraudulent document with no court seal, no court stamp, with no lawful authority whatsoever. Get an identity on this person here from Clearway. They've got no lawful authority to be here. They've provided no ID, no evidence. Nothing. You're aiding and abetting in a criminal offence, right? You are aiding and abetting in a criminal offence, and so are the police. So this is conspiracy to defraud me of my lawful rights to private property. The bank has provided no proof of claim whatsoever in 4 years. I know what I'm talking about. Oh, you lot are so done, I tell you. You are, I mean, hey, you've just majorly, look, you've got no idea what you've just done here. We do. I'm just looking at some of the comments here. This is getting shared all over the place. Right, people, so just so everyone's aware, I'm part of a network of people that are exposing mortgage fraud all over the country. There's hundreds of us here. There's literally the same issues for many people all over the country. Okay, we all know this. Please share this far and wide. If you're not aware of this, have a look at my page. Have a look at all of the evidence that's on there. I'm going to be publishing the documents that I put on the court for them to address and admit or deny all the points I've made, including evidence of police coercion, police intimidation, refusal to provide any of the evidence I'd requested, including evidence of failure to provide CCTV footage when the case was actually dismissed back in January. Okay, we've got all the evidence, we've got everything, all of it, and these people will be held complicit, so yeah, look forward to me bringing this now out. There's so much evidence for this.
Good for you.
It would be good for you, mate, I'm telling you, seriously. You can smile and smirk all you want. You can smile and smirk all you want. I've informed you of all of this. Now that document you have there, there's no court seal and no court stamp. The reason for that, again, I'll say, is because it's not a properly convened court of record. Okay? It's not a properly convened court of record, so that document you have there are evidence of fraud, and I'm going to need that documents from you.
You don't get them.
Give me the document.
You're not getting them.
What are you going to do?
If you try and take these from me, you're going to have a real issue on your hands.
Oh, you've got, mate, you're
There.
refusing, right, now we've just now witnessed that they've refused to hand over their paperwork.
My colleague, that's what you're right to do.
You
I
can
want-
notice it gets
I didn't
put on the
touch
door,
it.
that's it.
Absolute parasites. Right, people, please share this everywhere, okay? Get it out there. Oh, you're in so much trouble, I'm telling you.
Whatever you say, Michelle.
Oh, you are. Whatever I say, yeah, that's what I said. You're in so much trouble.
I don't know why you're standing here.
You're in so much trouble.
Well, go get me in trouble then.
And this guy coming upstairs, anybody get an ID on this guy? Because he's also failing to identify. Appears to be a locksmith. The police have also refused to turn up when I dialed 999. So they're complicit too. This is all being reported. You're in so much trouble. Share this all over. Everyone, just share this out there as much as you can, okay? Share it out there, get it out, all of it. I'm going to be publishing the document I put into court for them to admit or deny all the points I've made and failed to get back to me on 5 missed deadlines set by the court themselves, which also makes them complicit. That puts them in default. Again, absolutely zero proof of claim from TLT or Bank of Scotland on any of this in 4 years. They cannot provide any proof of claim or any proof of rights of enforcement because they don't have any, because we all know that all the mortgages are securitised, the banks do not have any legal standing whatsoever, and the courts are relying entirely on presumption. They're not properly convened courts of record. They're operating ultra-virus, we all know that, right? They've got no lawful right to be here. And this guy here seems to think that, oh, yeah. So, criminal prosecutions against these people, we've got enough evidence with hundreds of it being similar situations. All of this is coming out. You okay? Right, that's a prisonable offence, what you've just done as well, you know. You'll go to prison for this. There will be. There will. Trust me on this. Listen, trust me on this. Trust me on this. You will be held complicit. Yeah, that's right, Margaret. Lloyd's Bank as managers in the jail right now. There's been a bursting made all over the country. Julie, if you look at my page, you'll see a load of stuff on mortgage fraud. I've got stacks and stacks of stuff on there. Just go and have a look. This is happening all over the country. They're unlawfully repossessing properties where the banks can't provide any proof of claim anywhere. It's huge, it's massive, it's about to come down. There's also for anyone that doesn't know, there's also 3 big cases against Kent Police, where Trevor, there was an attempted murder on him, aided and abetted by the police. We have Bob White, and we also have Toby Hayden Lee. 3 big cases against Kent Police for aiding and abetting in mortgage fraud. That's all out there as well. We have multiple cases all over the country, including 21 police units turning up for an unlawful repossession. Okay, again with no proof of claim. We also have evidence in Sheena's case where she was evicted from her home with no proof of claim, a stage 4 cancer victim in a wheelchair. Now we all have evidence of that as well. We also have evidence with another case where a woman was pulled out of her bed. Again, none of these cases have any proof of claim, all over the country. And again, these guys, I need an ID on these from Clearway. They've been involved in cases all over the country as well, instructed by agents for the banks, again, with no lawful authority. We all know you all know on here by now how much knowledge I have on this and how much I've been sharing with all of this for the past 4 years.
We can agree on the amount of knowledge we've got. This is one thing we can agree on here.
There's a whole stack of documents on the whistleblower side that's already been exposed. That's including out of here, out of Ireland, out of the US and out of Australia. We also know that former police crime commissioner Anthony Stansfeld, along with MP Andrew Bridgen, is also aware of this, as well as Ed Honohan, who's Master of the High Court in Ireland, who's also been to the SEC in New York, exposing the mortgage fraud through the land registry. That is all out. I know what I'm talking about. You can smirk all you want. Okay? You can smirk all you want. Anything else? Is there anything you'd like to ask me here? Including why there's over £609,000 going through my mortgage on a second set of books. It's money laundering, it's extortion. It's actually tied, as a lot of us know, a lot of the money laundering tied to the mortgage fraud. As we know, the money laundering, what are you smirking at? The money laundering tied to the mortgage fraud. The money laundering tied to the mortgage fraud is also connected to global child trafficking. As we know, the money laundering connected to the securitization and mortgage fraud is also directly connected to the money laundering in conjunction with global child trafficking. Okay? Just so people are aware, money is laundered through securitization directly linked to global child trafficking, and all of that has been exposed now as well. Okay? So it's complicit, it's tied to the money laundering.
Sorry, did you say something? No? Okay. Sorry, I thought I heard you say something.
All of that's been exposed just now, of course, we all knew about that. The global child trafficking being exposed, and that's directly connected to money laundering through securitization with... Oh, you're smirking, are you? You think that's funny?
I'm just laughing at you.
You think that's funny?
I'm laughing at you.
Why?
It's reasonable.
The money laundering connected to mortgage fraud is directly connected to global child trafficking. That is about to come out. And you're standing there smirking. Do you think that's funny? Really? You think that's funny? Do you think that's funny?
Thank you, amusing.
Really? Really? What about you? You think that's funny?
I do actually, it's quite amusing.
Oh, really?
You are very much amusing. And today's pancake day as well. I really wish I was at home eating some pancakes.
Is everyone witnessing this here? Do you understand the gravity of the situation you're in right now?
I don't think you understand what you're talking about. I think
Oh, I
that's the
do.
issue.
I do,
When you
very
start
much
spouting
so.
about US law and everything else, it's
Can
got
you
nothing
believe
to do
that?
with this situation. And if you think that's an issue, that is, you're so entitled
The
to your opinion.
securitization fraud is directly linked to the US through the SEC.
What on earth has that got to do with what we're doing here
You
today?
don't have a clue what you're talking about. This is
I
all
don't
my
think you have a clue what you're
mortgage
talking
fraud.
about.
I very much know what I'm talking about, Dee. So don't go smirking at me thinking you've got no
Smirking if I
authority.
want
You're
to.
in big trouble.
I absolutely can if I want to.
You are in big trouble.
Okay.
You're in so big trouble. Wow.
Certainly be on the wrong side of history. Certainly be on the wrong side of history.
Oh, you will. You're in massive amount of trouble here, like.
Is that a threat?
I'm just saying. I'm just stating. It's not a threat. I'm just stating a fact. You've got no idea how much this is all coming out right now. You need to go and educate yourself on this. Seriously, you have got no idea how much trouble you're in here.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how much of this is coming out right now?
Go ahead.
Do you have any idea? You think you're just doing a job, but seriously. It's all smack. So, oh, by the way, people, I'm just going to put this out there, okay? I think this has been deliberately engineered at this time, right now, to try and go against me. My mum's property was broken into the other day, right? And their entire life savings have been taken. Now, I think this smacks completely of a setup because they know they can't come against me in the court because I've got so much evidence against them. Right, so that's something else I'm going to be putting out there, okay? There's an awful lot of gaps in the police procedure with this as well. There's a whole lot of very serious issues here, and they know that I can't go back against the court with what I've got evidence-wise. So I'm just putting this out there as well, okay? There's a lot of holes in the police procedure with that whole investigation into that robbery. Right? They know that we've been exposing mortgage fraud, me and my partner. He's also been exposing fraud through the courts in relation to the social services and child trafficking, which we all know is coming out right now. So that's another angle on this. I want to put that out there and I need to share it out as well. So people need to be looking at that. It could be a deliberate targeting attempt right now. This has been no notice. We've not been informed of the date and time of this. So it smacks of a suspicion over all of this as well, just so we're aware, okay? Now these two clowns here are smirking away. They're not listening to anything I'm saying. The police have aided and abetted in a civil matter. No lawful authority, no proof of claim, no nothing. And we will take the property back. And Sheriff Christine McCrossan at Aberdeen Sheriff Court. We've got the court managers involved. Isla Morgan, Pauline Brock, they've been put on notice. You've also got George Henderson, who's admitted he's not legally qualified, put his initials to a document in uttering. We've got no court stamp, no court seal, no proof of claim, no rights of authority to enforce in over 4 years of asking. They're here smirking and laughing, totally oblivious to the point that they're complicit in fraud against me. We've got a locksmith here that's got no lawful authority to be here. She's blocking his way right now. Here he is. I need an identity. Oi, you doing?
He does not need to identify him.
Yeah, he
does
does.
not need to identify him.
He's complicit.
He does not
He
need to
shouldn't be doing
identify
this.
him. He does not need to identify him.
You've got no authority to be doing this, and he has no authority to be doing this either.
You don't live here anymore. You don't live here.
This is my private property. Yeah, it is.
It's not yours.
It is. The bank has no authority. If the bank was that sure about their claim against me, then they would have provided full evidence of proof of claim. They can't and would in 4 years.
I think that's pretty clear.
I have a right to. I and everyone else has a right to have proof of claim. And if they didn't have an issue with that, they would have provided it by now. Right, people, please just keep sharing this out there, okay? Just share it with all my contacts as well. So Sheriff Christine McCrossan of Aberdeen Sheriff Court is I'm going to hold her entirely responsible for this. Do you want to go round my mum's? Do you want to go round just now?
Well, Michelle.
I said, do you want to come round my mum's just now?
Right.
Okay. Bastards. They might have taken my house as well at the same time. I haven't been out. I haven't been sitting from Blackburn here.
Oh, you're working. You want to go to you?
Hey, I need an identity on this clearway, guys.
Child, seriously, get out of their way.
I need an identity on these two guys, okay? Clearway.
Take to get to you.
Okay.
How long does it take to get to
Just
West Long for you?
where's Talbot?
10
10,
minutes.
15 minutes. Chris has been in touch.
Is it?
I think this is a setup.
Oh, fuck.
It's obvious now.
Oh,
It's obvious.
they've not just done that.
It's totally obvious.
Not been a rope to hang them on. Not been a rope to hang them on. Once you finish with all the paper files around the neighbour, they'll be next on their FEMA cards.
Right, do you want to just go just now and then we'll get on this?
Aye.
Right, okay, right. Right, we've got your identities, you're in big trouble, okay, I'm just saying. And you're failing to give me that document.
You'll get a last laugh, trust me. We will
You're
get a last
failing
laugh.
to give me that document.
I don't have to give you anything. This
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. This is not your document.
So
and if you
you-
try and get it out of my hand, we're going to have a problem.
You've
So I wouldn't.
refused to give me that document,
I'm
that's
ready documents
evidence.
to give you. That's the thing. I'm got anything to give you. None of this paperwork here is for you.
You've refused to give me the document, that is uttering. You're withholding evidence of uttering.
Anything. I'm not withholding anything.
You're withholding evidence of uttering. You have a document there that's not a proper document. You've got no proof of anything. Right, come on. You want to go?
Aye. Done enough here.
Right, come on in. Right, so we're leaving now. We've got all of that. We've got plenty of witnesses. Just share it out there. I don't know if they've gone after my property as well, but like I'm saying, we have proof and evidence that there's over £609,000 has gone through a second set of books. Under a securitisation code, it means the banks have got no lawful standing at all, no legal standing.